Good morning. Bloody freezing this morning. Just had some brilliant news last night that Artem Laguta, the world Speedway champion last year, has been allowed to race again. He's Russian. He's not been allowed to race for the last 2 years, and he's coming to King's Lynn. So that's fantastic. I'm going to try and get hold of Paul and see if I can get his autograph. I've been collecting autographs all my life. My dad was a top speedway rider at Comto when I was a kid, and I started collecting autographs and managed to get a world champion's autograph. And it's just been a fascination of mine all my life to get all the. I've got the only collection of every single world champion's autograph since Lionel van Praag in 1936. Of course, he was dead when I started collecting them, so I had to buy his autograph. Got another one off of the collector. Peter Craven was dead as well. He was killed in 63, I think, before I was born. So I've had to buy a couple, but only 3 or 4 bought, and a couple off collectors. Only half a dozen I haven't managed to get myself, and every other single one I've managed to get myself over the years. The hardest was 73. Was Jerzy Sestakiel. He was a Polish recluse and never ever came out. I went to Polish Speedway and never went out, so I couldn't get his autograph for like over 20 years. It took me to eventually get it. I was actually at the golf club, and a friend of mine was speaking to this Polish guy in German. I said to him, who's this geezer? And he said, oh, it's Jerzy Sestakiel. I'm like, you're joking me. I've been trying to get his autograph for over 20 years. So I managed to get Jerzy. Jerzy died last year, actually, but I managed to get his autograph as well. And Artem Laguta is the only one I haven't got because he's not been able to race for the last couple of years. So I'm off to King's Lynn. Hopefully this Thursday night I'll try and get to King's Lynn and see if Paul can get me in the pits to get his autograph. Join the back of the queue. There's going to be a few there to see him. Right, I'm back to work. I've decided to come to King's Lynn on spur of the moment because Artem Laguta is coming here tonight for the first time in England. He's racing in Wrocław in Poland, but he's not very sociable in Poland because they don't like him because he's Russian. So he won't sign autographs in Poland. I've already checked this out, and look, I've got it already. I've got in. I've gone straight down to the pits. Saw someone I know. He's called someone over. Get Artem Laguta, he wants his autograph. He's been and got him for me. Job's a good one. Brilliant. Dead pleased about that. Right, stay here and watch the Speedway and be on for midnight. Truck I've had for the last 5 years, and it's come to an end. I bought another one. I bought a blue one. So I've only had it 3 days. Beautiful, I love it. And I'm driving around the golf course last night for the first time in the dark, and I reversed into a tree. What a bellend. My brand new, well, not brand new, it's 5-year-old. I can't believe I did that. What a knob. I'm furious. Bloody hell. Wow, Leicester Forest East Service Station. I've come all this way to pick up an axle, and I got stuck in Suffolk. So it took me 3 hours to get here, so he's left it down the side and put the cones behind it. So thanks lads for dropping it off for me. What a journey that's been. Right, I'll get some breakfast now I'm here, and this is going in the red car when we get back on his wheels. So the axle's back and we've got it all, Brian's been on it for a couple of hours, cut all the brackets off it, and we're going to get all our brackets on it to fit in this car, because this car's sold. I'm going to drop the big block engine in it, drop the axle in it, get it on his wheels, get a seat in it, get it all the parts together, and then he's going to finish it off. I'm not going to get it running, I'm not going to put a gearbox in it, he knows that, that's the deal we've done. So that's my next job, is to get this car doing, I think I'll get it out and get it cleaned, get Jake to weld the brackets on that axle, and get the engine. I'm not racing this weekend, of course, Millwall, so I've got a weekend to get this car done now and get my car fixed as well. So that's our plan. Even if we're not racing, still got as much work on. So that's our next job. It's hard to get enthusiasm when it's a car you've sold, but we've got to sell it. It's got to get gone. I don't want to race it. I don't want to use it. I want the money to. I've got an engine in rebuild now, so need the money. It keeps the money goes back into the funds, into the racing funds. Right. Job for today. I've got to get that Dizzy out because that is Craig Finnegan's. So I've got to get it out and get it to Millwall to get it back to him for this weekend because it's his spare, and he's got to get back for his next meeting, not my next meeting. So I'll get that out in a minute. And this is the one that would come out my car, and I must have damaged the magic eye when I crashed at King's Inn the week before because that failed. I managed to get 2 new ones this morning just come. So that one there was slightly too big. That was my spare one. So I've found another spare one in the workshop. I'm going to make up and make so I've got a spare one with me. Nobody got a spare Dizzy at the weekend. People have got parts and bits of Dizzy, but nobody got a complete one. So I'll build a complete one up today. One for the car, obviously, and one spare. Bloody spares. It's constant, but you've got to have spares with you, so if you break down, I missed 2 races at the weekend, and it's not good when you put all the effort in and then you go and miss your races because the car won't start. How bloody annoying. Right, let's get on with it. Loads to do. Right, no racing today because it's milled north night and it's my 10-day stand down. So we're working on this car. We're working on the red car to get the red car done and sold, and just me and Jake are welding the axle up now. So Jake's helping me. Just our newsletter, and the newsletter is asking us all to be ready for the entry of the British final. So which car do I take? Do I take the tarmac car and try and compete and try and do well, or do I take my shell car? If I take the shell car, I can't just race it on the wheels and tyres it's on. I've got to put tarmac tyres on it. So I've got to spend money on wheels and tyres. Well, I haven't got to because I'll pinch my tarmac car. But me and Jake are just talking about, really, shell car should be just as it is, you know, run it on them wheels and tyres. Should be shell cars competing as they are. Well, the rules should be the same anyway, it'd be much easier, wouldn't it? Right, we're going to get this axle done then, Jakey. Yeah? You're not talking. Yeah? In the accident? Right, turn the music back on. Let's get this axle in and get it knocked off. A nice hot sunny day. Go and get the barbecue going. Speedway's on tonight.
Bit of a breeze coming.
You shut the door?
Yeah.
Right, that's it, done. We had 3 prices for this car. One is completely as it is, just take it as it is. One, you know, on wheels and axles and running with wheels on it and the big block engine in it. And a third price with a gearbox in it and complete ready to race. And we've sold it at the middle price. So we've got to get this axle in and just drop the engine in, and then he's going to finish the car off. We've sold it to a friend, so we're not going to pinch any corners, we're not going to pinch any shocks or any parts off it. We're just going to put it back together as if we were going to race it. So we're done for today. The axle's done. Jake's done all, we've welded all new brackets on it. And as you can see, I've just painted it, left it out in the sunshine to dry, and we'll fit that tomorrow now. But that's a Ford 6.3 diff in there, and the diff, this is like a 500 quid axle, but the diff bolts out, and it's really, really difficult. It's easy to do when the axle's flat like that, but when the axle's horizontal in the car, it's really difficult to do. That's why you see drivers missing races or missing the whole meeting. Because if you do a diff, that's a Ford Transit axle, that is. But what we're running on the on all my 3 cars now, it's took a while and a lot of money to do. That axle's like 500 quid, and these axles are like 3 grand. That axle there, so that's a bare casing that is there. That's a grand, and then you got hubs to go on it and a diff to go in it as well, of course. So that boosts the price. The diff alone is a 1,500 quid, but a diff on this one just bolts in. So this is like the F2 drivers do. They can just bolt it in. So if you do a diff at a meter, I've got a spare diff on the coach, you just bolt it out and bolt the new one in. So it's not on the Ford. The Ford has got brackets in here where the diff is mounted inside it. and it's really difficult to change. So all 3 cars are on Ford 9-inch, and a spare axle there. A spare diff is in the coach. But I'm not cutting corners by pitching that axle. So the axle out of that car is going into that car, my new car, of course. But I'm not cutting corners. I'm not trying to pinch parts off this car. I've been brutally honest about it. That's a £3,000 axle, and it's a very valuable axle. That's why some cars are a lot more money than other cars, because some of the parts on them are really expensive. So that axle out there is going to go in this car tomorrow. The big block engine is already got it's up there. I've just got to put the brackets on it. Sorry, the brackets are already on it. So that can come down tomorrow and just lift it into literally lift it in. We'll clean it first, just lift it in. We'll bolt the axle in, of course, so we can bolt some wheels on it. Good shocks on it. Everything else is on it. Just got to lift drop a seat in there. Then he's going to finish the car. That's the deal we've come up with. It's a friend of mine I've sold it to, so I'm going to sell it. Yeah, then he can do it. He can mount the seat to suit himself and so on, can't he? So that's where we're at. Right, that is it. I am done for today. We're going to go and light the barbecue and watch the Speedway. Good luck to the lads at Mildenhall.